Hello.
Hello. We're saying we needed to dance then because where we are sitting is Arctic.
I mean,
you
probably can't on camera, but I can see my breath. Even that is
just like not COVID friendly, is it?
No, we can see our breath.
At least I can see where your COVID is going.
It is very, very cold.
It is very, very cold.
Which probably isn't great because we haven't been here we haven't been on a podcast for a few weeks. We've had a few weeks off. Why, Gill?
Well, I mean, the last podcast I'd done my leg, so that's been hindering me for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The week after we did our Bodycut show, I lost my voice completely, so I couldn't speak.
Yeah, which I was all for doing the podcast that week.
Yeah, thanks. And then we've just been so busy with panto rehearsals and
just
life
been a bit
and
crazy trying
craziness.
to fit it in because this is not our full-time lives, just chatting, is it?
Well, no.
Well, it is, but not necessarily with each other.
Ideally, if we could make more money from it than other things, then we could make it our full-time life. That would be a great thing, wouldn't it?
It would be lovely. It'd be lovely. But
can we put forward for some sort of an award, by the way, Ben? Are we allowed to mention that?
Yes, so... Yes, interesting news.
Interesting news, listeners.
We had an email from someone.
Was it real? I mean, that.
It was. It's on the website. If you look on the website, there's a website, and I can't remember the website. I'll have to put it in the link in the comments. We had an email telling us that we were
nominated.
We are in a list of top 10 podcasts for amateur theatre.
Ben, how many podcasts are there about amateur theatre?
Well, at least 10. At least 10.
I think 7. You've made the top 10, but not the top 7.
I think we were number 4 or something like that, weren't we? I can't remember. But that was an interesting email. It does mean, I suppose it means people are listening.
Which is lovely.
Well, we know they're listening.
Regards.
But yeah, so that was an interesting one. So we thought, well, we better come back and do something. Bloody hell! Now that we've been out, we both sent each other a message like, "What the?"
Were you allowed to say that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But what the hell is what? But lovely to know.
Lovely to know.
But yes, but how have you been?
I've been okay. I saw a specialist about my leg.
Oh yeah.
Who explained this, Benjamin? 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. It's a great private healthcare. I'm sorry, I shouldn't because I do love the NHS.
Bougie.
But it was bougie. That it would, if he were to now try and reattach my hamstring to my arse. You allowed to say arse? Yeah.
Oh, right, you have now.
It would probably ping straight off again because 4 weeks, even though that's really quick to get from, I've had an MRI scan and I've seen a specialist, that's too long and it's now retracted, and to pull it back up would be like stretching out an elastic band too far. So if you reattached it to the top of the hip, it would ping off. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to do some physio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds gross.
Much more sensible.
Yes. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, you're doing much better, I think.
I am
from when we filmed last podcast where you couldn't even sit in this sofa because you had to sit in the tough chair. Over there.
Yeah.
Over there.
I even did a tiny bit of dancing, didn't I? I mean,
you did.
Hang on. No, let's be honest, podcast listeners. When I drink a lot of gin, it turns out. The pain in my hamstring goes away and I can do dancing more.
I mean,
but I did sober dancing on Sunday, didn't I, at the rehearsal?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I mean, obviously on Saturday we've got our ATC Christmas party where we're going to
COVID
hopefully. So that might be some dancing there. We may have to show some moves to what is it? Bad Santa?
Don't tell everyone we're going. They'll all be tipping up. Be like,
it's a very exclusive event. But no, that will
sing along a Santa.
Something like that. We're going to sing along. We're going to be we're definitely going to be a drama group.
Yeah, we're going to be a drama group, and it's bottomless prosecco. What could possibly go wrong?
Apart from your hamstring snapping.
Yes.
Apart from.
Well, it's fine. It's not reconnected yet, so it's fine.
Oh yeah,
that's the best time to do something silly.
You do the splits.
Totally loose.
I've always said that about
my arse bone's not connected to my leg bone.
I think the cold is driving us mental. But anyway,
it's always good when we have a plan about what we're going to say, isn't it? Then
just wing it. We were like, it's too cold to think about what we're going. Let's just say. Let's just speak. But we're going to do 2 more episodes before Christmas.
Hopefully,
so this being one of them.
Yes.
We're going to do a sort of a series finale.
Yes.
next week, hopefully, which will hopefully be about one of the topics that we said we'll discuss for ages.
Yes,
so that's a nice way to end Series 3. And then plan is to return for a special during show week, as long as all is going to plan. On that, and then this isn't
how are you feeling about the panto?
This isn't our T of the W.
No,
this isn't it. But we are an amateur theatre podcast, as listed in the top 10. But we are an amateur theatre.
Across the screen.
Top 10. We are an amateur theatre podcast. We should talk about the new variant.
Omicron.
And how it's affecting.
Omicron.
It sounds fancier, more exciting than it is. But obviously how it affects amateur theatre. Because I know that because lots of different events are now being cancelled because people are worried about it. I know that my staff Christmas party, which was meant to be this Thursday, has just been cancelled. So gust about that. So it's. I'm wondering what impact it may end up having. Obviously, I think it's what restrictions get brought in. If new restrictions get brought in around gatherings, especially around sort of singing as well, that's the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a big concern, isn't it?
Is.
And I think.
Do you know what's the worst bit, Ben? I reckon if they just left all the restrictions in, none of us would be moaning. It's the taking them out and bring them. It's like the hokey cokey.
Put
the left foot in, they take the left foot out.
Yeah.
Put the right foot in, because we're trying to go to France for Christmas to my sisters, and it's literally been the most ridiculous nightmare. I just get my head around what I need to book, and then it changes. And it changes on this side, and then the French change it, and then
It's it is a pain, and I think I worry that there might be a lot of affected. I know that a local-ish, one in the area, not in this area, but in the wider area from where we are, I know that they had to cancel. They had a show this week, and they've had to cancel the first night. Because I don't know why. They said because of some events beyond their control, maybe to do with that. I know that I know some other amateur theatre groups who I'm friends with. They've had to cut cast members out. So there's one who had to cut an ensemble out. Yeah. Because
we might have to cut a horse, mightn't we?
We've got to cut a horse because we've lost our horse.
So listeners, ideas please post it below. For different horse jokes we could introduce when there's no horse. Maybe a toy one, maybe a hobby horse, maybe just someone from the backstage crew with a horse on the head. I don't know, but
we'll be discussing that.
Right.
But it's
post below,
because it would be such a shame to get so close to it to postpone again, especially when we've done that once already. You know, we want this to happen, and tickets are selling. We've obviously added in a socially distanced show, so. Hopefully it appeals. And
that's just us on the cast. We're just not going near each other one of the nights.
I was thinking the bit where I go into the audience and dance with someone may have to change, but we'll be fine. Anyway, that was the more serious bit we had to talk about because we wouldn't be doing our jobs. Not that it's our job, but we wouldn't be doing it. But for now, let's talk about our topic of the week.
Topic of the week. Topic of the week. Of the week, I've missed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally
missed you.
Missed it.
I wish you'd still had lost your voice. So
it's not properly back yet, but I mean that was why it was weak. I'll be honest.
Oh right, we'll use that as the excuse.
Yeah.
We are talking today about Christmas shows.
Christmas shows,
events, and nativities.
It's Christmas
because it is nearly Christmas.
We can't find Fiona.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I mean, I was late to meet you to film this podcast, Gill, because I was stuck behind Santa.
You literally were.
I was stuck behind Santa on his tractor,
he's
blocking the road.
Such a cheeky, isn't he? Sometimes with his tractor.
I nearly rammed him.
Did you?
Go away, Santa.
When we arrived at our studio, and I swear to God, music came at us just as we walked towards the door, and I said to him, "Oh my God, we've left the music on for a week." But it wasn't. It was Santa
in his tractor.
His tractor.
He just turned it on.
Yeah,
as he does. But anyway, as it is nearly Christmas, we're talking about Christmas shows, Christmas events. Obviously, one of the Christmas shows that always comes up around Christmas time are the pantomimes.
The pantos. We love a panto.
We usually do ours in summer, but we're actually doing it in January this year, so we're close to Christmas. Not right on Christmas, close to Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you think? Question for you, considering we're going to go straight in. Do you think the market gets a bit saturated with pantos around this time?
Yeah.
Do you think it makes it tricky to sell?
Maybe, but also it has got that kind of real. People get really excited about it around this time as well. So the energy for it is there. And we just have to hook them, Ben.
Yeah.
Just have to hook them. We're not doing hook. No. So we have to hook them with our Robin of the Hood.
Robin Hood. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously ours is a little bit out of the way, so I'm hoping that there's not as much of a clash. But obviously all the professional theatre staff, pantos, I know a few there's about 3 amateur groups in the area doing pantomimes.
This side of Christmas.
Yeah. So it's an interesting one. I think there's a bit more of a battle for tickets for sure.
And can we just mention, is it not 12 years since you advertised? Did we mention this on the last podcast?
No, what? I don't know.
It popped up on Facebook, the advert for Prince John to join Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah.
12 years.
I don't know if we did
years ago. And I responded to that advert and joined you at St John's Drama Group.
For Robin Hood?
For Robin Hood 12 years ago.
12 years ago when we did it.
Can you believe
I did. I put
it?
postcode, is anyone free to play Prince
Anyone
free.
Anyone at all. Doesn't matter at all.
Anyway, we ended up with someone brilliant, but they
but
dropped out, so we had Gill. Jill stepped in.
I saw that one coming.
But those are the pantomimes. We did a little Christmas variety show last year.
We did.
Which is crazy. Actually, I think a year ago yesterday was the taster.
Oh.
We launched it on Christmas Eve.
Oh my God.
But we
really
remember
late.
it was a quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was.
We literally threw it together. It looked amazing. I was very proud of it.
Yeah.
But I can't believe we achieved that.
No. And we had done the little Winter Wonderlands at Banbury School before.
We did sort of immersive event things, didn't we? Like Winter Wonderland events that we organised with the local school, which was really nice because it was performance opportunities. It was good for the school.
Yep.
They obviously got involved. It meant that it was useful for amateur theatre groups because if you had that partnership, it meant for a while we had a free venue, didn't we?
Yeah.
So and that's the crew contacts that we have our studio. I mean, we paid for it, but it was only we got first refusal because of those contacts.
Of course, indeed.
But obviously, the most famous Christmas story. The most famous Christmas story to show on stage is, of course, the Nativity.
The Nativity,
which is
also though another famous one that I was in as a child at school. Scrooge.
I was about to say Scrooge.
Scrooge, Christmas Carol. Yeah, I played Scrooge in a mixed school, primary school. It was my first experience of having a beard.
Oh right.
Yeah, at about 9 or 10, and yes, indeed, I've never looked back.
Always insist on a beard.
Always insists, and I very much enjoyed the bar humbugging of the part.
Yeah.
It's really, I think it's
fun to be a bit miserable sometimes.
Yeah, it's where I've taken my evil character from ever since.
Very good.
There we go. That was my most memorable Christmas show, as 'twere. As 'twere.
Scrooge is a fun one.
It was a fun one.
But yeah, the Nativity's
Nativities are big. And Ben, I mean literally, they call them nativities these days. Mm-hmm. But oh my goodness, they go all over the show.
What you mean in terms of taking liberties with the story?
No. Our Lord Jesus being born, just to keep it pure and holy. Oh my God, again with the whole... Anyway, but more to the point, they try and recreate the nativity in some way, but put an alien with it, put an Ofsted inspector with it, they just kind of jazz it up.
So literally take it up. When you said they really go for it, I thought you meant like we see Mary giving birth, we see the labour process, Joseph cutting the umbilical cord like that.
No, not that.
That's graphic.
But yeah, there's a lot of varieties of the nativity now. Yes.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? There's it's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously it's a very primary school thing. I think nativity. I do think, because I was thinking that earlier, I was thinking, an adult sort of nativity would be quite funny.
So did they not do the Nativity Goes Wrong?
They did Nativity Goes Wrong. They did a script, the Mischief Theatre group who did Play That Goes Wrong. That was their first script, I think, that they wrote and they performed in like a little venue. Yeah. But then they changed it all and did a Nativity Goes Wrong for BBC last Christmas, didn't they? But it'd be like an adult nativity pantomime would be quite funny. But I then worry that people might take it quite offence to it.
Yes, we don't need that.
Especially if you're thinking about our pantos.
Good Lord. I am. Yes.
Good Lord.
But yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had in a nativity, that's what I say. And I do miss the fact that my 2 children now are beyond the primary school years. It was a real highlight in their primary school to go and see the nativities every year. And to hear their lovely, lovely headmaster say the same thing every year. The first time, when your first child was in early years, you're like, oh, the headmaster stood up and said, that he thought that could grace the West End stage. And then once you've heard it like 8
Every
times, you kind of go, like, yeah, okay,
Right.
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Don't lie, they're
Don't
rubbish.
lie.
But
and then you'd go, and shall I won't do his voice. And shall we hear that last number again? And you don't go, no.
Right, no.
My bomb's
Gotta go.
gone now, I've got to go. And the other thing he used to say, because there's like a lot of kids,
Yeah.
because it was 2-year groups together, so it's about 120 kids. And when they start talking, he'd say, oh, give them a clap as they walk in. And then you're going to have to clap for a good while longer than that every year.
120.
120 kids coming in. Yes! Yeah!
Someone shut the door on them. But I think there's obviously lots of the fun, I suppose, with the primary school nativity is it is a primary school and they can be quite young and there can be lots of mistakes and funny things in rehearsals. So I believe this is one way where you have your phone out.
That's my. I'm not just being rude.
I can say
I
she looks like she's just being very rude.
I do have a primary school teacher for a husband. I don't know if you know, not for much longer. He's giving it up. But there we go.
What? I thought that was your way of telling me you're getting a divorce. Not for much longer. I'm leaving him. That's his Christmas present. Divorce papers in the stocking.
He doesn't watch, so we can say what we like then.
Because he's leaving being a primary school
Leaving being a
teacher,
primary
not
school
leaving
teacher.
you.
I mean, it's up to him. He can do what he likes. It's Christmas. He should do what makes him happy. So I'm just going to read a few. He has entertained, I think, a lot of people in the Banbury area, and now on Twitter he has a lot of followers on Twitter with his stories of nativity for many years. So just a few from this year.
Go for it.
Okay. One story was when his co-teacher last year whispered, "I'm going to shoot myself" in the middle of a particularly special rehearsal, and
Nice.
then they had to hide all the staple guns.
Nice.
Here's one from 4 days ago. Hands out of pockets, everyone. We're supposed to be looking for the Son of God, not some small change.
Like it.
Louder, bit louder. Try that again. Pardon. Move your mouth. That'll help. Breathe in before you speak. No, let the air out afterwards. Otherwise, you'll look like a radish. This sounds like one of our rehearsals, actually.
It does. I was going to say, these quotes from our rehearsal room.
Oh, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, that's been going on for many years. Some of the classic ones when he said, if you don't stop hitting baby Jesus on the floor, then we are going to have to summon social services, Mary. And I think he lost an actual shepherd off the stage.
Oh, God.
You know, and they just tumble off.
I know stories of like
Vomit.
vomit.
I mean, there's always a vomit.
Vomit,
story, isn't
or
there?
someone just suddenly going, "I need a wee." It's usually the director. But then there's things like the baby Jesus' head popping off because it's like a doll.
A doll,
and
yeah,
the doll
yeah,
head
yeah.
popping off and just having to carry on with a headless Jesus. The other thing is there's a thing of all the wise men. They got given their gifts to take on, and one of them was too intrigued, so opened the gift, unwrapped it before Jesus could get that. That's quite amusing. There's, I think there's no end of hilarity from a Christmas show.
Absolutely.
Make it nice and festive.
What we should do, Ben, later in the podcast.
Later, how long are we going on for?
What? We can stop in a second, but I feel an insert
Okay.
coming on. We could go like this. Here's the insert, where when all our cast arrive later, we ask them their favourite part in a Christmas show. See what they all say.
It's a wonderful idea.
What's
Let's
your
do
favourite
that.
part in a Christmas show? Because I've told you mine is
Oh, I don't know. You can't put me on the spot like
I
this.
can't
I'll have
put
to
you,
be part-
I mean, literally put you on the
I
spot.
need to be part of the insert now.
Okay.
What's my
alright,
favourite part of the Christmas show?
You have to have been it. You have to have been it when you were a child.
When I was at
Yes. I bet you.
I mean, I was Joseph.
Oh, you bugger! I never got to be Mary
When
in
I
a
was
Christmas show.
When I was in early years unit reception,
Straight in there.
I was
straight
Joseph.
to the top of the
I was
pile.
Joseph.
You
I wanted to
little
go
bugger.
around knocking on the innkeeper's door. I was like, my wife's pregnant.
Come on, let me
Give
in.
me a room.
They're like, no, Omicron.
I also-
Not coming on.
Quite a while ago. I did that. The other things I did at school for Christmas shows, I remember being Jack Frost's like helper
Okay.
in like this. It was like, it wasn't a nativity. It was like
Mhm,
slightly. And I remember having to. I do a little dance. Oh, I know the other thing. Robin Hood. There was a Robin Hood thing.
Stop it.
There was a Robin Hood thing, and I was one of the. It was like the old. It was the old year and the young years, and I was in the young years, so we were in the chorus. So I was a little friar.
Ooh.
Right, little friar, and there was a point in one of the numbers where I had to just start eating the picnic, And the big fry had to slap me around the head. And I remember he slapped me around the head so hard that I went down and smacked my face on like this like furnace and went poof, and like my jaw, and I was only about 8 probably.
Oh my goodness.
Professional. I was in absolute agony.
Jumped up.
I started watering, but I kept acting, carried on, didn't cry. I was a pro.
I mean, and now look at you, nominated podcast.
Host of a nominated podcast, Treading the Boards, the Avocet Theatre podcast.
Well done, I mean, really.
Wouldn't have
Says
happened if it wasn't from that journey I've been on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do that. Let's
put an insert in here.
Put an insert in here, and
insert
we will
now. Boom.
Speak to some of the ATC cast. Woo!
Woo.
Right.
Brilliant.
First guest.
First guest. Here we go then, ladies. Favourite part you played in the Nativity and why? Starting with you, Holly. Holly, it's quite a Christmassy name, Holly.
I know.
What are you called Holly because it's festive? Is there a festive link?
No.
No. Okay, sorry, scrap that.
When were you born?
August. Tell us about the favourite part you played in Nativity and why.
Oh, well, I played the angel.
Ooh, the big one, the big angel G.
No.
Just an angel.
Just an angel.
And why did you like it?
Well, I'm not much of an angel.
No, normally you're a bit naughty. Excellent. We like that.
Why are you talking like a CB news presenter?
It's a bit naughty.
Oh, you are a little
See, my
bit
breath is
naughty. It's very cold. We said this, it's very cold in here.
Well, you can see where the coat's got to. Crowther, Katie.
I have to say my favourite nativity was, I'm not very well known, but it's called Hey You. You spelt.
Oh, come on then,
You spelt
E-W-E.
E-W-U-E. I'm sure there's a.
What, like as in a U
As
as
in
in
a sheep.
Is it E? Oh.
E-U-W-E.
Oh
How
no,
to spell
come on.
you?
Should we look it up?
E-W-E.
Stop the
A U as in a sheep.
sheep.
You as in a sheep.
You could have just said it. You didn't need to spell it. Why did you try and spell
Well,
it?
because
Make us all look sick.
because I played the you.
Oh.
I was the sheep.
You?
Oh.
You?
Yeah, a you.
You with a U?
No, me.
You?
What?
Yeah. No, I don't think you were the
Sheep.
lead sheep because the lead sheep was actually the little tiny sheep that was Neve
No.
Neve.
I wasn't allowed to be the main
you were
sheep.
too big.
because I was too big.
I was
too big to be a ewe. I was like big daddy lamb.
Daddy sheep.
Daddy lamb.
The ram.
The ram. Lovely.
Lovely. Well done, you
Lovely.
two.
Let's get some more people. Next set of guests.
See you in a minute. More guests.
More
Sarah
guests.
wants to come and Cole playing nasty henchmen in our shirt panto in January, but going to ask you
But
about
they're lovely in real life.
lovely in real life. So I'm
I
going
mean-
to ask them about favourite part in a nativity and why. Big boy Cam.
I mean,
probably
That's
not
a first.
we are DBS checked here.
the right thing to say.
I remember my first role the best. I was a sheep.
A sheep as well.
I was a sheep, and then I was also a king. That was also a highlight. Cause I had a little satchel of loads of little stuff, and a little chocolate bar, and I ate halfway through the show.
Nice.
Looks really professional. Yeah.
Proper nice. Cole, what about you?
I was a star and
Oh.
a shepherd as well.
Did you have to hang from the ceiling?
Were you the star because you were the star of the show?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, it wasn't this kind of thing, it's just like I was a star.
Yeah.
I was an actual star.
Yeah, and did you do nativities every year?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was mostly like the primary school. It was mostly like a year 6 thing. It was like
Oh, was it?
what you looked forward to at the end of
What
school.
about you at
Yeah.
school?
So there's one when you in reception
Nice.
and then
Did
another
you
one
sing
in
like
year
real
two.
loud? Were you like that one? Were you the one that everyone goes, oh, hang on, someone's singing properly? Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
Definitely wasn't good.
fantastic. Well done, thank
A
you.
couple of fun roles was fine.
In-
Another two. Oh, was going. What were we gonna say?
Two more. I was going to say.
Two more to
Two
go.
more to
Two more to go. Thank you very much. Our final guest. So we're talking about Christmas shows and parts that you've been in. Tell us about a favourite character show that you've been in at Christmas time, maybe in Nativity, whatever it is. Shanice.
I was Mary in the nativity.
I was Joseph.
Once?
Not together.
Once or twice? Twice! That's not
Mary
even
twice.
fair, is it?
Mary twice.
I've never been I never got to be Mary in a Christmas play. I wrote a song about it.
You were always the man.
I was literally always the man.
Always the man.
Thanks.
Mary.
Very good. Twice.
That's
Hey,
good.
you literally did, what was I mean,
So good, she reprised the role.
Actually, how did you work that?
Maybe,
Because surely the
maybe it
school
was a
had to make
sequel.
sure that
maybe it was the
She
sequel.
had a second
Jesus'
one.
brother.
twins, it's like blood
Jesus.
brothers.
It's like blood brothers. Separated at birth.
Anyway,
Anyway,
enough. Sorry,
anyway.
go on.
Myron.
I played the king continuously throughout primary school
Yeah.
because I was the one that gave Myrrh. Because
Right.
Myron is like an abbreviation of the word myrrh, so they were like, I got typecasted basically.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Boom.
Mic
I
drop.
was built for the
That-
role.
and that-
And interestingly, you changed your name about a year ago to Robin.
Yeah.
And hence why you've cast. You have to just change your name so you get cast in the
Yeah.
roles. Amazing, amazing, because
And
he's
that is
Robin
good.
Hood.
Real life, that's right. We
To be fair.
saved that. We saved that till last.
That was a
Name's
good. That's a
actually-
really interesting one. I mean, either that or lazy casting by the teachers. I don't know.
Oh, I mean,
Just give
I'm
it to
still,
Myron again.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm still
Lazy
stuck
casting.
on
Two Marys.
Two Marys.
Teachers, up your game.
Two Marys.
Two
Honestly,
Marys.
who didn't keep a record of that from the year before?
I know.
I know it'd be
Outrageous.
good. Shanice, I know, I can see her in the role. That's because she did it last
I mean,
year!
it's like, to be fair, she is the only one who owns a blue tea towel. And she's the only one who owns the dressing gown.
Brilliant.
Every man.
Well done, you.
Right, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
thank
Back
you.
to us.
Back to us.
Very good, very
Oh,
good.
bless her.
It was lovely, it was
Isn't that
lovely.
I know, because I haven't filmed this before, we've asked them, they've all said some really interesting
It was
things.
such
haven't
an
they?
interesting
Such an
take.
interesting
I hope it is
conversation.
interesting, otherwise
Otherwise-
it's going to be an awkward edit. We're going to pretend, weren't they wonderful,
Weren't
everyone?
they though?
We're going to have to give them things to say. But yes, obviously, if you're doing a Christmas show at the moment, best of luck.
yeah,
Well, let us know. Let us know how it goes.
Let us know how it goes,
Um,
and any funny stories of your own to share.
That
I'm
would
sure
be
there's
nice
lots
to hear.
out there, whether they be Panto related or school related. Comedy, Christmas show moments. I believe, Ben, that Zoe Ball did this on her breakfast show this morning, but we had planned it before.
We had planned it before. We're such
she's just a little
trendsetters.
stealer.
Obviously heard about
Gypsy
top.
stealer.
Obviously heard about the top 10 podcast that we were doing.
Oh, exactly. Award
But
nominated.
we'll be back next
We
week
will.
or sometime next week for another episode, for our final episode of the
Before
series.
the Crimbo.
Before the Crimbo, we will be able to tell you about the our hope for the Christmas party,
Yes.
and we'll be doing a
We-
topic that
we
we've
will
been promising
hopefully
for a while.
A bit recovered from that Christmas party, even though if we haven't, it would actually fit with that topic
might
we've
make
been
fun.
promising for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could work out.
It could be
Maybe
quite
we
fun.
should do it on the train back. Oh no, because you don't.
I'm not going to bring my camera to a party. Not like gallop through the background.
Anyway, lovely to see you, folks.
See you next time.
See you.
Bye bye.
Lovely to see you.
You're trying to be professional because we're a top 10 podcast. Anyway, goodbye. Dance out.